So what do you want? You want to go through? So who is at to present for who movement chase? Somebody wants to present? I have it from Shankar. I think Ishwar spoke already. And I have Shankar and Sriram slides. I have not got it from Rakesh, Raja, and Girish. Hello. Am I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Okay. So somebody wants to present on who movement chase was not done on the other day. So I have presentation from Shankar. I think Shankar already spoke on that day, I suppose, right? Like Sriram didn't talk. Sriram, if you are there, want to talk? Sriram?
Sriram is not there, sir.
Okay. So how about others? Rakesh, Raja, Girish?
No one, sir.
No one? Very good. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so what did we talk another day? Where did we stop? And thanks for all the coding. I think I've seen half-hearted coding. I think someone said Bhuvanesh sent, and then I've seen it from Ishwar also, right? Did Ishwar you showed it to me? I saw it from Bhuvanesh this morning. So I've not got response from other people. So very soon I'm going to start giving marks and everything to get some seriousness into this. So I'll start putting assigning marks to any homework I give as assignments. So I'll probably start grading timely submission, like all the quality results and everything. Right. So then we'll see over a period of time. I'm not saying any seriousness. So I'm taking very seriously. So whenever I find time, I'll go to set up a detailed scorecard kind of thing for everyone. Right from the quiz what we had and everything. Right. So there'll be some surprise tests, there'll be planned, announced tests, and all those things will happen. So we'll do it that way so that we'll have some seriousness. Okay. So forgot where we stopped. Okay, we saw mux, right? We saw mux and demux, I suppose, right? Did we see demux on that day? We saw mux, right? Yeah, mux we saw. So let's see what is the demux. Let's see what is the demux. So what is the demux? Any idea?
It is we call defux as demultiplexer, sir. We use this to divide many signals or many signal lines from one single input.
Right. Yeah. So it's reverse of the multiplexer. Multiplexer has many inputs and one output. So instead have one input and many outputs. Right. That is demultiplexing. So it'll have select lines. Right. So it performs reverse operation of multiplexer. It has single input, n number of select lines and 2 raised to n output. That's what it says. Right. Let's see example. Let's get a 1 to 4 demultiplexer. Right. So one input, 4 output, 2 select lines. So what happens? Select line is 0, 0. The I value will come on to y0. If it is 1 and this is 0, I value will go to y1. If it is 1 and 0, I value will go to y2. Otherwise, last condition will go to y3. Okay? So that's what the truth table also says. 0, 0, y0 gets a value of 1. 0, 1, y1 gets y2 and y3. And this is how the gate implementation for that, right? So if you want to use the Boolean expression and draw it, that's what you get. So based on truth table, this is a Boolean expression, and then based on that you draw the circuit. So you want me to walk through how the Boolean equation came? Let's see one case. So y3 is what? This is a y3 condition, right? S1 not S0 into I value comes directly to the output. So it's just AND of all three conditions. S1 not S0 into I. Correct? So this is I, this one, and this one. You multiply, you get the y3. Correct? So So say Y3 is, you add all three conditions, right? S1, S0 and I. Add 3, you will get Y3. So that's the logic. Same way you can derive for other three combinations. So everything is same, 1 to 8, 1 to 16. So yeah, same way you have to write two table. See how, let's look at this. This is very easy, right? 1 to 8. So you have 8 outputs, so you have 3 select lines, right? 8 means 3, 8 to raised to 3 is 8. So 0, 0, 0, 1. Same way, you keep only one input will go to one of the output lines based on the select line. That is a concept, right? Let's see this is interesting a little bit, right? So you have 1, 2 to 1 demux. Using that, you can use a constructor 8, 1 into 8 demux, right? How do you do that? So there are 3 multiples using 1 cross 2, 1 cross 4 and 1 cross 4. Then he's building a 1 cross 8. Right? First he is using one select line, one input, and he is getting two outputs. Then in the two outputs, if fit to other multiplexer, use 2 select lines, and that generates the 4 outputs basically. Right? Should I explain? How he now it is designed for 1 to 8 multiplexer, right? So the way it's done is, so using one input, you can have only one input but 8 outputs. That is very clear, right? 1 to 8 means. So he has one input. So he has 2 stages. First is 1 to 2, and then there are 1 cross 4 and 1 cross 4. So there is one select line. So this 1 cross 2 he is doing first. So 1 into 2 outputs will come. The 2 outputs go to the second stage. This is 1 cross 4. So each multiplex will generate a 4 output, and there are 2 select lines. So if you combine that circuit this way, you get 1 to 8. Okay? So 1 to 16. Anyway, he is using 1 to 2, 1 cross 8. I think you could see these examples to understand better. The same way he is doing a 1 cross 16. Let's come back. So let's see what is an encoder. So encoder is a combination circuit that performs the reverse operation of the decoder. So what is decoder, then we'll have to understand, right? So it has same way, right? It's very close to, very similar to the DMUX. DMUX has, very similar to the multiplexer, right? Multiplexer has many inputs but a few outputs. We have only one output. Here, there are 4 inputs and 2 outputs basically, right? 4 to 2 encoder has 4 inputs and 2 outputs. So let's say right, when A1, so when all this combination, when only one input can be one at a time, that's a rule, right? So Y0, Y2, Y1, everything is 0, and if the Y0 is 1, so you will get 0, 0. 0, 0, 1, 0, you get 0, 1. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So this is a functionality, so you have to understand, right? This is a binary code equivalent of to the input. When it is active, that's what it is doing. Correct? What is this? You are giving 1. So 0 places set 1, right? So 0, 0. So 2 raised to 1, you get 0, 1, right? Third decimal is 1, so you get 1, 0. Fourth decimal is set to 1, then you get a 1, 1. It's binary, right? It's called encoding. The encoding is compressing, right? It's very similar to, you are transferring some data. Instead of sending 4 bits, you are sending only 2 bits. So you can save bandwidth, basically, right? Understand? So this is application for such circuits. Simple as in communication theory you will be studying it, right? So you probably will soon the 5th or 6th semester will study. So it's something called encoding. So because you cannot send all the data because bandwidth is limited, so you have to compress that and send. So you say video encoder, right? What does it mean? S264 video encoder is here, right? You cannot send the entire video, SD video on the internet or whichever is the medium, because it consumes so much of bandwidth. So you have to compress that and send in certain format. So it takes 4 bits, but it is converting into encoding into 2 bits. That's encoding, right? So that's one other application. So let's see what is decoder. So all this thing now we have to write the Verilog code. Any circuit you see, we have to write a Verilog code. That's your lab. So you try it out, and we can always discuss in the class if you don't understand, right? I can write it and show it to you. So 2 to 4 decoder. What is the 2 to 4 decoder? Let's see what does that mean. You have n inputs lines and maximum is just opposite, reverse of the encoder, right? This decodes. Decodes is what? When you transfer the encoded data in the receiver, you have to decode. Right? You had 4 bits, you converted it to 2 bits at the time, right? You encoded it. So when you receive the data, what you have to do? You have to reconstruct the data back. So you get 2 bits, you convert 2 bits to 4 bits. That's what this guy is doing. Just one enable signal, this other 2 inputs is getting converted to 4 inputs. Let's say that same thing, right? So 0. So your enable is 0, everything is 0. The enable is 1, and this value is 0, 0. This is set to 1. Same way, just reverse condition of the previous condition. Only one output will be set at a time. You see here, right? Only one input is set at a time. Input and output is coming like this. Here you just swap the output and input. Once you understand the concept, it's easy. Just have a look at it, right? Should I explain again what is encoder and decoder?
Yes, sir. Encoder.
Okay, very good. Okay, so encoder. What encoding is what in English? Let's look at the English terminology. Encoding is convert into some particular format. I'm not looking at this logic or something. I'm trying to understand in dictionary format, plain English. I give an example, right? Like encoding something. Let's say I give a video encoder example, right? Maybe audio is MP3. MP3 is encoder. So when you sing or when you talk and record in the phone, it'll be huge. For example, I'll tell you, right? The voice recorder is available in the mobile phone. So when you use the application, you convert it, save it in a wave format. Right? When you try and send that to the WhatsApp, what happens? It compresses that and sends, correct? You can try that as an example. It compresses. So that's encoding. Compression is encoding. WinZip. You all have used WinZip, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know WinZip and WinTar, whatever it is. So many apps are there, right? What does
Yes,
WinZip do? You have a big file, you want to compress it,
Yes,
it compresses it, correct? It may not work well when you have a execution. For ASCII data, you will have a good compression ratio to give. If you have an executable file, binary file, it may not compress much, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so same way, so you want to compress something and send, because when you transmit something, I'm talking in terms of communication, right? When you transmit something in the medium, you should use as less bandwidth as possible. Because the bandwidth is something you will be paying for something, right? So you have to send 4 bits, then you encode it using some algorithm, you send only 2 bits. This is one example. There are so many encoding techniques are there, right? So,
Okay, sir.
communication, you understand that.
Okay, sir.
So anyone has studied any communication? Maybe Pawan, you have studied, right? Have you studied any communication theory?
Yes, sir.
So any encoder you are familiar?
Forgot, sir.
Huffman encoding. Have you heard the term?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shannon, Fanon, and Huffman.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it does. It uses a different algorithm, right? It converts many into few. That's a concept. Encoding. Coding. We call it coding, encoding, whatever it is, right? So it just converts multiple into few. What other examples I can give you? WinZip is a good example. You probably know what is compression. Like when you say compression, right? You compress the data, then you can send a lot more data in that space, correct? So that is the thing, right? Right. So same way, right? Let's say you are traveling in a train where 3 people can sit. It's a passenger train, so you can squeeze in 4 people can sit sometimes, right? So you have to adjust. The same space is same, but you can accommodate more people if you can all squeeze in and sit next to each other, right? So space remains same, but you want to send more data, then you have to compress that and send. That is the concept. Okay? Agree? Is encoder clear?
Yes, sir.
So you have 4 inputs, only one input will be active at a time. Right? It's called one hot. Right? Only one thing is hot at a time. When you do state machines, probably I'll explain you better, right? So and then you get 2 outputs. 4 inputs get coded into 2 outputs. That's a truth table, right? It's very easy. So Y0 is 1, so A1, A0 is 0, 0. So Y1 is 1, A1 is 0 and A1 is 0 and A0 is 1, right? Same way. This is basically the first digit is on, so 0, 1 you are getting, right? And here it is 1 is coming, you are getting 1, 0. The 4th digit is on, you get a value of 3. Y3 is on, so you get a binary equivalent of 3. You could? That's not network problem. What we can do, right? Okay? Okay, let's go back. So we finish the combinational circuits, half adder, full adder, mux, demux, encoder and decoder, right? So I think you wrote Verilog till mux. So you have to write for the rest of the three, you have to write Verilog. Demux, encoder and decoder, right? And today's class I will show you how to code the mux in a different way. Now you coded the mux using an AND OR combination, right? That's how you all coded the mux. Did you code mux? Yes or no, you didn't?
I did only till full adder.
You will have to do mux. Yeah. I think Bhuvanesh has done what is the mux. So I think that's what I showed. Mux. Now I'll show how to do mux in a different way in today's class, right? And we also talk about the sequential circuits. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so main difference between multiplexer and decoder. We all studied multiplexer, right? So the difference between demultiplexer and decoder is that a demultiplexer is a combinational circuit which accepts only one input and directs it into one of the several outputs. Correct? Because in demultiplexer is doing the same thing, right? Many to one. Decoder is also doing similar to that, right? It accepts one input and converts it to several outputs. Demultiplexer and decoder. On the contrary, the decoder is a combinational circuit which can accept many inputs and generate the decoder output. Right? You decode the thing, and that's what is how it is encoder and decoder. It's all one to many. Right? But decoder will only decode the output, but even though it does one to many, but it also decodes. That's only one difference. Similarly, the encoder and multiplexer is very similar, but encode is doing the actual encoding. That's what I was explaining you, right? It takes all the input data one at a time and converts them to single encoder output. So that is the difference between the demultiplexer decoder and the multiplexer. This is a concept, you just understand that, nothing to by heart and remember. They are very similar, so I am trying to show. All the four things what I showed here, right? Mux, demux, encoder, decoder, they are very, very similar. Only difference is encoder and decoder does some coding also. Correct? The decoder and demux is very similar. Mux and the encoder are very similar, except that the last two does some coding. So only that you have to remember, that's all. Okay. The mux with an AND, we saw this, right? So maybe I'll explain quickly, right? So this is a logical equation for mux. S bar A or of S B. Where S is a select of the multiplexer, De Morgan's law states that, okay, let's not skip all the theory part, man. And so this is what we do, basically, right? So you take S and B, put an AND gate, and S bar and A put an AND gate. I think if you use the derivation, probably it will come this format. Because NAND is a universal gate, right? So S bar A, so finally calculate this equation will come, right? Then the theory part you can go through this, right? And so there's a link, you have a 4-to-1 mux with an AND gate. Probably I will not show that, but it's very similar. Maybe such bigger diagram will come. We'll have 4 inputs and 1 output basically. And 2 select lines will come. Right? See what is next. Demux is an AND gate. I think let's analyze this and see what happens, right? What is demux with an AND gate? So it has 2 select, this is the input and 2 select lines. Right? So what does the demux do, right? It sends one to many, correct? That's what we studied.
Yes, sir.
So you have one input, it goes to one of the 4 lines and there are 2 select lines. So when select, let's take some example, it is 0, 0, what happens? I think I should use the another pointer. Right, so that's right. It is 0, is 0, first condition, what happens? You get 1 here, you get 1, right?
Yes, sir.
And your input, let's assume 1. Let's assume input is 1. Right? So this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. So this gate, this and this is the AND gate. Right? What is the value here? It will be 0. Correct?
Yes, sir.
This is an AND gate. 1, 1, 1 will become 0. And here what will happen? You get this line is 1, this line is 0, this line is 1, this line is 1. Right? So what is the value? There will be 1 here. Correct? And similarly, all the other cases also become 1, 1, 1. So it does the encode, it becomes a demux basically, right? 0, 0, the input, the reverse of the input goes here actually.
Sir, why is the first 3-input NAND gate is 0, sir? The output of the first 3-input NAND gate.
Pardon?
Why? My question is, why is the first 3-input NAND gate output is 0?
Yeah, I'll explain. So this is 1, right? This here, this line is 1, this line is 1, correct? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Agree, right?
Yes, sir.
So both are 1, then the output is 0, right? That's a NAND, right? If all inputs are 1, now for NAND gate the output will become 0,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Okay.
right? So that's how you get the 0.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So don't worry about the circuits. You don't have to buy hard. When you derive it, actually use the truth table. You do it, and probably you'll get it automatically, right? Or don't think, oh, this is not a classroom, right? So I will not ask you to buy hard. As long as you work it out, no, you solve the problem. You write your truth table, use a Boolean algebra, and simply you'll get this kind of structure automatically, right? So don't know how to buy hard all these circuits. But if you given a circuit, you should know how to analyze it. That's important, right? So give this circuit to you, you should know how to analyze. Okay. So I'll have the same thing. So we have done this already. I'll show you this lab. Added a new lab here. Yeah, so let's see the new one. I have something called RTL coding. It's very simple way of coding the mux. The previous mux was very boring. I think whoever has done, right? Bhunesh probably will know. You have to use a lot of gates and then construct the mux, right?
Yes,
Got a
sir.
diagram, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So now you see this code, it's going to be very simple. So I'm introducing one by one concept for the Verilog. So now if you understand this concept, so observe very carefully. If you understand this concept, you can use this to do your demux and encoder, decoder and everything. Okay, so let's go through very slowly. One second,
Okay,
let's
sir.
let it load. Let it load. Yeah, it's still loading. Very slow. The computer here is very slow. Maybe whatever. It's just loading. It's taking too long. What is on today? I should have other windows on the. Yeah, I think it's. I must have code here. This is the morning I was filling the code. Let's see here. It's too slow, man. Sorry about it. So I think maybe I should go to other window and write it. Then probably you can save some time. Right? So let's go there later. So I'll start writing, man. Sorry about it. We'll go in a minute. Nothing works. Man. Okay. So I'll write a mux module. Right? Mux. What are the inputs outputs for the mux? 2 to 1 mux. Can somebody tell me how many inputs, how many outputs? 2 inputs and 1 output. Sure? I said 2 to 1 mux. What is it? Is that correct? How many inputs, how many outputs? What? But you also have one select line, right? You have select line, right? So You have a Y output, A, there's a B, there's S, and there's a select. Call it S, right? And you say output, this is output, so forget about my handwriting, it's very difficult to write. Input. It's too slow, man. Okay. Let's see if the other window came or not. Yeah, I think it came. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay. So let's use this painful. Right now you can see this, right? Can everyone see the window?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So the module, I'm calling it the mux 2 to 1. And it has a Z, something output, I'm calling Z instead of Y. A, B, and cell. The inputs. Z is output, input is A, B, and cell. And don't worry about the syntax. It's called reg. Right? Just assume reg Z. This statement always add A or B or cell. Do you remember seeing this always in the previous class or one class before that?
Yes, sir.
D flip-flop, sir.
Add. For what I showed that. What example we use that always add?
Sir, for statement, sir. For.
For?
For statement in C++.
No. Always add. In one of the example I showed you, always add. So which example?
D flip-flop, sir. D flip-flop. D flip-flop.
Yeah. So always add percentage of clock. Remember, that's what we did. We said Q equal to D. Correct? So what does the always add mean? What did it tell? It happens always. Whenever any event happens, the always block gets triggered. That's what I told you, right? When you say percentage of clock is an event. So whenever percentage of clock happens, the always block gets executed. Inside that we are saying Q is D. So whenever the percentage of clock event happens, the B goes to the Q. Okay? Agree? So here also similarly, it's always executing. Whenever one of these conditions become true, this will get executed. Right? Whenever A toggles, it becomes 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Any condition. That is toggle, right? You know what is a toggle? It changes the state. Either 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Simply A or B or cell. So any one of the input changes, then it has to go and execute this particular block. Okay? I think we should go to a truth table, it will be very clear. So just look at this. Probably I'll explain more. So you may not understand, so don't bother. We'll spend more time. Okay? So always add A or B or cell. I'll come back to that. Begin. This is very explicit. If cell equal to 0, Z equal to A, else Z equal to B. End. That's all. End module. So is that a mux or not? Right? When select is 0, what you are saying? The output is equal to A.
Yes, sir.
When select is 1, it takes the B goes to the output. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So let's see the equation now. Let's solve the truth table, right? So what is the mux truth table? That's what it says, right? Two inputs are there. A, B, you have I, select and output, right? So 0, 0, select 0 and Y gets a value of A value comes in basically, right? Right, so select goes value of 1, the B goes 0. Whatever the value of B, that goes to output, right? That's what you are saying. If select is 0, A goes to the Y. If select is 1, that's what if then else I'm writing. If select is 0, Y equal to A or B, whatever it is, however you define your marks, right? Otherwise, else Y equal to other input B. Correct? And if you see, right, Y we did other three conditions. I said A or B or cell. Correct? That's what I wrote there, right? Was always add. I'm not using any percentage here because any toggle condition 1 to 0, 0 to 1. Percentage is only 0 to 1 transition. Correct? Negate means 1 to 0. But here can be any transition. Right? Multiplexer, right? Let's say select is 0. Let's assume what happens. Let's take one case. Select value is 0. What you are saying? The A value will go to output. Correct? Now the A value changes to 1 when select is 0. What will happen to the output? when select is 0, right, A value is 0, so output will be 0. When select is 0, the A becomes 1. What is the value of the Y? It will become 1. Correct? So you apply this in this particular condition. So select is 0, only A is changing. So your Y value has to change. Y equal to A, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? If select is same, A changes. So then your Y has to change. Right? So that's why you write or. And will never come. That's another trick you have to learn. Always add A or B or cell. You cannot write A and B and cell. So nobody will write like that, right? So A or B or cell, Y equal to A. Right? So what happens if A is constant and cell is changing? Let's say A is 0, B is 0, and select has changed from 0 to 1. So the Y value should go to, the B value should go to Y, right?
Yes, sir.
Same thing. So same thing, A and B are not changing, but select is changing. So always add. These are not changing now. This particular signal got changed. So this statement got executed because of this. And based on value of cell, right? If cell equal to 0, this will come. If cell, else, Y equal to B. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that clear? I want to explain it once more if it is not clear. Ishwar, is it clear?
A or B or cell.
Okay, don't understand. Very good. It will not be so explicit. Let me explain. So, anyone has the same question? Ishwar wants to know why A or B or cell is written in the always block. What is the question? So, is anyone having the same question? Or different questions? Let me know. Hello, is that a question?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, let me explain again. So why you would write A, B or A or B or cell, right? So this is what look at the truth table, right? So the cell value is 0, it's constant. Cell is not changing. A is changing from 0 to 1. So what will happen to Y? Y will become 1, right? So let's assume. So we are not writing this. We have always add. The input has changed, right? So you have to put always add A that is required. Right? Whenever input changes, output has to change. You put a there, always add A, right? Now what happens if the input is same but select is changing? The output has to change then, right? Then you have to put or cell. Same way, if the select is same, select is 1, but B value is changing. Output has to change, right? So that's why you are putting B also there. So either of the value inputs change, the output has to toggle. The combination circuit is what? When any of the inputs change, output also changes, correct? That is a combination logic, correct? And you studied in the theory class somewhere, now you are seeing it practically. Now you will understand what is combination logic. Right? So because 3 inputs, when any of the inputs change, your output value will change. So there are 3 inputs, A, B and S, right? So always add A or B or cell, any of the inputs are changing, the Y value changes. Then you go inside write Y, if cell equal to 0, Y equal to A, else Y equal to B. This is a simple 2 to 1 mux. If you ask to write a 4 to 1 mux, you know how to write. And if you want to write a demux, you know, you want to write an encoder, you know how to write now. You know what is this house, it's called a register transfer level coding. You are not using a logic gates here. In the previous example, use the AND gates or NAND gates to design the mux. Correct? Bhuvanesh, that's what you did, no? Bhuvanesh?
Yes, sir.
You use the AND gates to design the mux, correct?
Yes, sir.
AND gates and inverter. Now in this example, you are not using AND gates and OR gates, but you are using behavioral statements. So if then else, if else you are using as behavior. Right? So we call this a register transfer level, RTL. Right? That's what we call RTL here, right? RTL coding. Typically RTL is a key word. You'll always keep hearing it. Any company you go or anybody talking, people say RTL. What is RTL? Register transfer. It's kind of some kind of model kind of thing. It's called register transfer level. I don't know what does it physically mean. I don't know. You can go to Wikipedia and check, right? So So basically, if you write this in this particular way, the synthesis tool will able to translate that into gates. Whatever logic you did in the last class, that the tool will do it for you. Now, which is easier, to do in the gate format or do it in this format? Which one?
This one.
This format is easy, right? Writing in the RTL format is easy. So you write in the RTL format, right? Then use the synthesis circuit to get it converted into gate format. Correct? So that is the concept. This is a very simple example from the RTL coding. I'll show you more examples as we move forward. So I would like you to try writing for one more marks, 4 to 1 marks, DMAX, encoder and decoder using this particular way as your homework. Okay, and you have to submit that on Tuesday. Saturday we have a guest lecture. Correct? You all know that, right? Who's talking on Saturday?
Bhiksheswaran.
Huh?
Bhiksheswaran.
Yeah, Arun. His name is Arun, which is his father's name. His name is Arun. He's the CEO of a company called Radisys. So they are doing a lot of work on 5G technology. Right? They are doing a lot of system level designs and everything on 5G. Right? So he's got busy. I told him to talk about his school days or college days to how he became today. His 25 years of journey or 30 years of journey. From the age of, we are all 50 years now, right? From 20 years to 50 years, like how his life has changed. So he also had arrears when he was studying, right? And then he struggled, he came out of it, he graduated, he wrote GRE or something, he went to US to study. He would have studied somewhere, he didn't have enough money. When he goes there, there's no single dollar. He has to struggle, he has to live somehow. So he'll explain about this, how he became CEO from there, actually, right? So he had arrears like any of you, but he's the CEO today. He's one of success. He has worked in very big companies, right? He worked in Motorola, whatever company. He probably will come and talk to you on Saturday. Let me not talk about it. So it's going to be an interesting thing, right? Very nice guy. He's one of the successful guy. So read his profile, you'll understand. Go to the company's website and see what they are doing. Right? Being a CEO is not easy, right? He has to take all the good decisions. Right? And I'll tell you, right? One thing I should mention. It may happen, it may not happen. Just keep you. I think I'm looking for 2 laptops. Correct, for some of you, right? I'm trying few channels. So one of the channels I'm trying to, they have meeting at 5 o'clock. So these people have an office in Bangalore. I'm trying to see if they can give any used laptops to us. So I'm trying to do this with 2-3 people in parallel. So far there's no success, but touch wood today, I should know at 5 o'clock after the meeting, they're willing to donate 2 laptops to us someone. Right? So they are willing to help us basically, right? That way. Another friend of mine was asking today, he's in Singapore, he was asking, hey, Hari, what happened? You said you wanted a laptop, did you get or not? I told him, boss, like, don't spend money. It's same thing I'm telling everyone. I told you people also, right? Money is like very hard to come these years. You have to be very careful next 2-3 years, right? So we'll spend money definitely on when it is needed. So we'll try all the other avenues. We can see if we can get a used laptop. If we cannot get, then we'll use people's money, then we'll see what we can do, right? So even if I get a laptop today, how do you give it to you people? I cannot give it because we're all different locations, right? We have some time. So let's see how do we do that. So let's go one step at a time, right? So let's work systematically. Then we can solve the problem. Okay, so is it clear? Okay, let me run simulations and see, show you. It's interesting, right? So test bench. I think I'll not explain this because you all know how to sequence, right? Just sequence of inputs. However you want the inputs to change. Based on your truth table, you keep writing in whatever format you want. So here A is 1. Initially everything is 0. You have to initialize. You put everything to 0. If you don't put something to 0, what will happen? If you don't put any input to one state, what will happen?
Remain
Unknown. You'll get a red color. That is not right. The flip flop. I'll show you here also. One input is 0, output will become X. Red color X will come. So now I put everything to 0. After 10, I change the value of A. So what should be the output? Output should become 1. Very good. Now I'm changing select to 1. So what is the
0.
output should become 0. Now I'm selecting B to 1.
0, 1.
Very good. I'm telling A, making A to 0.
It still remain 1.
Very good. I'm making select to 0.
Now it begins.
Now you know what they expect, right? Let me run simulation and say $finish. You just have to do this blindly. You use the template. You know what is a template, right? What is a template?
Template is the preset already set before.
A basic building block kind of thing, right? So you just copy. You don't bother. That's a fun. In college, you have to remember, when you come to work, you just copy. Once you do it, you just do it blindly. You don't have to. I'll tell you what is it later on. So that's how when kid talks, I'll tell you, right? When mother says Amma, kid says Amma, but kid doesn't understand what is Amma mean, right? He just says Amma. He says Atte, kid says Atte, right? He doesn't know what is Atte. So same way, I tell something dumb file, dumb fast, you also say dumb file, dumb fast. Right? I don't want to explain, but this is the concept is important. I want you to understand this. The focus is here, not here. Right? So today's whatever the word I taught you is equivalent to Atte or Mama. This is what I have told you. So this thing you learn some other day, one thing at a time. If I tell you everything, no, you will forget everything, right? So if I tell one thing, there's a good chance that at least you will remember. You may not remember, that's a different story, right? There are good chances that you will remember. So only one thing, one concept a day, right?
Okay.
So finish is finished. End of simulation basically, right? So I'm turning this wave on. I'll go and do a run. I think you're all familiar how to use this tool now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how do we do this another day? I was trying to do, right? Yeah, you got it, right? We will delete these things first. Before I can get it once more. Delete. Oops. No, it's not deleting everything. Delete it, right?
So it doesn't delete more than one, I think, at a time.
There should be some way, I think, you should experiment and find out what is it. Just I want to show you, start from the beginning, so I can add in whatever way I want, right? They show you. So get signals. So you have test bench and design. This is a hierarchy I showed you, right? So let me click on this. So I'll add A. Let me add do up and down. Those. So get A. That's what he said, right? A, B, and select, and then Z. Everything is 0, output is 0. Now when the A changes, it becomes 1. When select changes, it becomes 0. Then now B changes, it becomes 1. Now A changes, nothing happens. Now the select changes, it follows the A. Correct? Agree? Correct, right? You guys agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now let's see, do something, right? I'll remove this condition, right? I'll comment in this line. Let's see what happens. Agree?
Yes, sir.
You have to experiment and see, man. You always have to do that. You're engineers. Let's see what happens. It's all X initially. Or Z, or output also is X. So unless the value becomes stable, the output also is unknown, right? When it becomes 1, it will become 1. Right? And this is very dangerous because there's something called X propagation. This X will keep propagating in the downline. Let's say there's a flip-flop connected after this. The X will go to the output of the flip-flop from the input, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's like you keep propagating that way. So that we call X propagation. That becomes very difficult to debug when you're doing simulation. So it's very important. You have to make sure that all your inputs are in known states, right? And if you are doing something at the gate level, it's even more difficult. If you write a mux in the NAND gate format, debugging this is even more difficult. If you are writing in a RTL format, it's become a little more easier to handle. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So is this concept clear today?
Yes, sir.
Ask questions if you want.
Yes, sir.
Do a few examples based on this. This is basic things, right? Okay, let me tell you one more secret. You all told what is a latch, right? Did I tell you what is a latch other day?
Yes, sir. You explained it.
What is a latch?
Sir, it is a combinational circuit which changes its output instantly when the input is changed,
Right.
sir.
Right. So let's do this. I do like this, right? I just commented. So if cell is 0, Z equal to A. Right? If cell is 1, what happens? You don't know. Right? Change it. You should replace the in the previous state. Right? That's what should happen. Just commented this. Let's run simulation and see what happens. So same. I'm not saying any other behavior. I've just commented the else part. Let's run.
Okay, sir.
So what happens, right? Z. So select value is 0, it takes the 1, right? Select value became 1, so output doesn't change, it remains 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And select value became 0 here, takes the input here again. So what is this behavior? This is a storage element, you see, right? Even if the input changes here, forget about the B input. You don't need B. We are not using the B input here. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct. No, you got A, cell, and Z. Only 2 inputs and 1 output here. So select changes. It became 1. Now whenever the input changes, the output doesn't change. So it's like a memory. It retains the previous value. Right? And so whenever you see here, the select changes here. So input actually goes to the output immediately. So it doesn't go instantaneously like a gate. It's like a clock. Right?
Yes, sir.
And if I change the input here, then I should have made one more condition. If I toggle the A here, the output will change immediately because I should come back and show it to you, right? I'll do one more condition here, right? Let's see what happens. So you have to experiment, man. That's how you learn. Just don't do things blindly. If you do this, what happens? What happens? Now you see, right? See, the select is 0. That's what I told you during the latch. When the input changes, output changes immediately. It doesn't wait for it. It's a transparent latch, I told you, right? It is not like a flip-flop. Flip-flop will wait for rising edge of the clock, then when the input will go to the output. Latch will be transparent. When the enable is active, input goes to output immediately. The enable is not there, it will retain the previous value, right?
Yes.
The enable is active, enable is low, input immediately goes to output. When enable is inactive, whenever the input changes, output doesn't change. So this is a latch. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Great. You didn't understand Ishwar. Okay, what did you understand? Okay, what is the definition of latch? Let's start that again.
Something similar to flip-flop.
Yeah, but what is the difference between latch and flip-flop? I showed you what is the difference between latch and flip-flop.
Flip-flop only in rising edge or falling edge will change. It
Yeah.
won't change instantaneously.
Correct. The latch,
Instantaneous change happens.
yeah, whenever enable is active, input goes to output. When enable is not active, it retains the previous state. Here same thing is happening, right? When enable active is 0, is active low here. As I wrote cell equal to 0, right? When enable is 0, right? What happens? The Z it takes the input. When enable becomes inactive, so the output changes also. Input changes also, the output is not changing, right? Then your select becomes active here again. It becomes 0. Input changes, output changes immediately. Right? When enable is not active, it remains the previous value. Now you understand? So when a very small change, right, in the mux, right, it becomes a latch. So what do you understand from this? You have to properly understand the design when you write any code. It is not programming. Many people tell me I like Verilog programming. I hate that person. When interview they say that, I don't select them. This is not a software, this is a hardware. How can you program? You have to design. Correct? This is electronics, this is not computer. I told you, you are using software to design hardware. That's what you should talk. You are using software to design the hardware. Verilog is not a software. Verilog will be a tool, right? It's a language. Verilog is not, Verilog is a language. You are using, it's called hardware description language. Verilog HDL. That's what it is called. Right? Verilog hardware description language. So you are describing the language. It is not called Verilog programming language. It's not that way, right? It's a hardware for HPL they would have called. Why they call HDL? Hardware description. You are describing the hardware. So that means you should know the hardware in the mind when you code the RTL. If you don't understand it, just code junk, you get the junk. It's very sensitive, right? Just one line I change it, it totally changes the design. From the mux it becomes a latch. It's totally different. What will happen? You will design your work. If you do like this, your design will work in a different way. Correct? So it's very sensitive. Just one line I comment, 2 lines I commented, functionally totally changes. It's like English, no? You would have add one A somewhere, it will change the meaning, right? So same way.
Yes, sir.
Same way. So you should be, when you write this, you should imagine the hardware in your mind. You are all engineers, right? That's the difference between the software guys and the hardware guys. You should know what you want. You are the designer. You are the God. When God creates human beings, God knows what kind of character He wants. He created the chromosome, created the genes. We call XY chromosome, whatever, right? That's a science. So that the personality gets defined, right? Through the genes and through the chromosomes, right? So you guys define the chromosome of the hardware. You decide. how the circuit should behave. You are the God. So you should know what you expect. Correct? If you don't know what to expect, no, then God only can save you. Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is extremely dangerous. I told you latches are not preferable in design. Did I tell you that? So I didn't tell you why. You have to find out by yourself. That's what I told you. Right? I don't know who you found out. You go and search. Now you'll go and search. So this is very dangerous. If you write any combination logic, write down this statement. This is very, very important point. I want to see your notes to be written. Any combination logic written in a behavioral way, in a RTL format, in a if-else format, right? Any combination logic, if you describe in this particular in behavioral format, not in a gate format. Gate format is different. Last class what we did, I'm talking about the RTL format. When you write behavioral or RTL format, you write that both are same. Use the RTL code. That is more. His behavioral has a slightly different meaning. I'll come to this in subsequent classes, right? So when you do that, right, when you write the code in the RTL format for any combination logic, if you write a if statement, you must have a else statement. You must have a else statement for it to become a combinational logic. If you don't put a else statement, it becomes a latch. It becomes a memory. Correct? Right? I'll take more inputs, but you will not understand. It's absolutely silence. Let me see, right? Let's show another example. I think we should do cell one more, right? Cell 1. Let me do one more. Cell 1, right? Let's assume. Or if cell 1 equal to 1, I'm just using something randomly. Don't ask what it is, what circuit. Some kind of different kind of multiplexer, whatever it is. There's 2 select lines, 3 inputs and 1 output. So something very peculiar mux. Don't call me what it is, right? It's a 3 to 1 mux. Nobody will have any design, but I'm trying to design 3 to 1 mux, right? So select is 0, A goes to output. Select is 1, B goes to output. Otherwise C goes to, right? Now this is a mux. Right now you can simulate it. Now I comment this. Let's say I forgot to do else. So it becomes a, what happens? It becomes a latch. It is not a mux. So which is not good. So you don't know what happens. You are defining something not defined. Right? You don't know when see, probably I think we should simulate this condition. Should I simulate this and show you? Why don't you do this exercise, right? Because I have to go and modify everything. So you do some random logic like exercise, and when they see what happens, when select is neither 0 nor 1, this will act like a memory. The previous value will be retained. Okay? When I do the synthesis, I will show you this logic. Probably next week I will do a FPGA activity and show you. Right? So you will see that the memory element will come in the design. You get a latch. I will show you the synthesis part and I will show you that latch is getting inferred. Okay? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Up to some extent you understand, right? Not fully. So concept is this. If you are writing a sequential logic, we'll talk about sequential logic next class. Any combination logic, if you are writing in an RTL format, 2 conditions I told you. If you are writing a combination logic, first condition. Second condition, you are designing that in the RTL format in Verilog. And if you are writing a if-else statement or there's a case statement also, if you don't specify all the possible conditions, correct? If you don't specify all possible conditions, you will infer a latch, which is not a desired thing, which is a wrong style of coding. Unless you want to infer a latch in the design, which you will never do. You should not use a latch. For very specific purpose, you must do a latch in the design. There are certain cases where you must have a latch. We'll talk about that later on. In those conditions, you should code it that way. But you should be absolutely sure. You want a latch or you want a mux. This is an important concept you write down, but nobody will teach you in the first few classes. So do you all understand this, what I said?
Somewhat, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
To some extent, I understood, sir.
So did everyone understand? Overall the class. Girish?
Understood, sir.
I'm not hearing many voices. There's about 10, 11 people in the class. I'm hearing only 2, 3 voices. Balaji? Are you there?
Understood, sir.
Very good. Girish?
Sir,
Is there or
he's not in the meeting, sir.
He's not there. Sriram? Not
Sir,
there.
I'm there, sir.
Sriram is there?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Yeah, to some extent I understood, sir.
Okay, very good. Very good. So what you didn't understand, tell me, I'll explain again.
I'm not still sure about the different. I'm not still sure about strong about the concepts of latch and mux yet, sir. That's why I didn't.
Okay, very
I
good.
will,
Excellent. I'll repeat again.
I will do more refer. I will refer books and I will understand more about them. And then definitely by the time I understand what is mux and latch, I will understand this concept.
Let me repeat it again, man. Don't bother. In one line, I'll tell what is mux and latch, right? Mux is 2 to 1 mux means there are 2 inputs, 1 output. Many to 1. That is a mux, right?
Okay.
I told you an example. You're doing too many things, right? You're watching movie, at the time you're playing cricket, and your mouth is eating, punching something. You're doing 3 things at one time, right? You do that many times, right? You'll be watching a cricket match, you'll be doing something, or you'll be WhatsApping, your mouth is doing some activity, right? You're eating something, you're drinking something. That's what we do when you say cricket, right? We're eating some snacks, junk food, watching cricket, and chatting on, posting in Facebook or Twitter, commenting about that cricketer dropped catches, betting and whatnot, actually, right? All of us, I have done that. I'm not saying, right? I've done that. Right? All of us do that, right? We eat some chips or whatever junk food, right? So you're doing multiple tasks at the same time. That's multiplexing, right?
Yes, sir.
So mux is the 2 inputs and 1 output. There are many possible conditions, but there is only one thing can happen. Right?
Okay,
It's called multiplexing. There are 2 inputs, 1 output, there's 1 select time. Based on what is selected, appropriate input will go to the output. That is mux.
Okay, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Latch. What is latch? In English word, what is a latch? Is latching the catch? What does it mean? Latch is catch. What it means
to lock something.
to catch it, right? You're not dropping, you're holding on to it. Your door, like door lock is called latch, you know, your house, there's a front door, right? People call it a latch, some other people, right? In olden times, you know, we call it lock. Your grandfather has something, somebody says it's a latch, they'll call it a latch. So it's locked something, it holds something, basically, right? That's a latch. You can go to Wikipedia and see what is the meaning, English meaning for a latch. It just holds on to something. So latch also holds on to memory, that's what's called a latch. It's latching the previous value. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So latch has a memory element, like flip-flop, latch is similar. But it's different because latch acts like an enable, it's very transparent. When enable is active, the output changes to the input value immediately. Okay?
Okay, sir.
When the enable is not active, even if the input changes, output is don't care. It doesn't change. I told you it's like a level crossing, man, right? The railway gate is closed, your input you cannot go to the other side.
Yes, sir.
Right, when the railway gate is open, any number of vehicles can go to the other side.
Yes, sir.
So latch is the same way. The latch is enabled, input will go to output. If latch is not enabled, it retains the previous state.
Okay, sir.
That is the latch.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now I'm saying in the RTL coding, if you do any mistakes, you would have intended to design a mux. So I'm saying when you write the RTL, you should have your design in mind. It's not like C programming, I'm telling you, right? Don't ever mention to anybody you are programming using. I know programming is very long. No, you know how to design with very long.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
So you are designing something, you are designing the hardware. Right? So you should think in terms of gates, you should think in terms of hardware. So then only you can do efficient RTL. You can write efficient very long. Or you write some junk, you'll get a junk. Junk input, junk output. It's very simple, right? You give any input to junk, your output is junk.
Yes, sir.
You give a good input, you get a good output. Same thing. Okay. So you don't mention in any always block for any combinatorial circuit. If you are writing if-else statement, I'm saying all the possible conditions of inputs must be specified. Right? So in this condition, you got Abad laws. How many conditions will be coming here? The 2 inputs are there. How many conditions will come?
2 conditions.
4 conditions will come.
Nested if statement. Okay, sir.
Yeah, 2 inputs, right? 2 select length for a 4. So you have to write all the 4 conditions. So that means I should write select equal to 0 and then cell 1 equal to 0. Right? And if cell equal 0 and then cell 1 equal to 1. Something, right? And then I cannot leave it open like this. Then I can write else if. What is the next condition? Well, man. Put z equal to something. What is z equal to 0? You define. I am putting z equal to 0. Else, next you don't write a else. Then z equal to c. Right? I don't specify third condition. That means that's a default.
Yes,
So
sir.
if it is not meeting any of those 3 conditions, that's else. So there you don't have to mention last condition because that's a default condition. You have only 4 conditions, and 3 conditions specified. If none of the 3 conditions are met, you have only 4 entries in your truth table, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? So 3 entries you have specified. The last option is by default. You don't have to write that. You don't have to write else if blah blah blah.
Sir, in second statement, cell 1 is double equal to 1, sir. There's only
Yes,
single
that's a
equal.
comparison state. That is syntax, man. That's a logical operator. In C, you code the same way, right? If you know C, that's Verilog and C are very similar. So you write equal for logical operator. Logical equivalence, right? Logically it is equal or not, you check. You check, set value is equal to 0, then only it will execute. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So you can put 1 equal also, it will work. But as per the right syntax, you should put equal. Otherwise, there's tools called lint. I told you something called lint, right? You check the how compliant is the code or is it simulatable or whatnot, right? Structural testing. Then all this will report as a warning and errors at that time. So it's a good way of coding. In conditional statement you use equal. But during assigned statements, if you do, you should use single equal.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
And there's a difference.
second-
I can also write z equal to 0. That's perfectly okay. But it has a different meaning. So don't go there. You always use this. I'll tell you all those things later on. I'll not confuse you. Try to get the concepts first, then we can go to advanced concept later on. Right? Once you get the basics, you do different designs, it becomes easy for you to understand. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So is it okay up to some extent?
Yes, sir.
So the homework, practice the marks, 2 input 1 marks, 4 to 1 marks, D marks, encoder and decoder. Right? You
Yes,
create
sir.
as many varieties as you want. So minimum four things you'll have to do. You just it off.
Okay, sir.
I'll mail you this example. What I will not save it, I'll just send it by email.
Okay, sir.
So this
Okay,
one.
sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Then time's up, so let's meet at 6 p.m. day after tomorrow. 6 to 7 p.m. India time.
Okay, sir.
He's in Eastern time zone, it will be 9 a.m. or something for him, right? So he will come and join us. And week after that, we'll go back to Balaji for the power of focus class.
Yes, sir.
Balaji is available. Right? Let me work it out Balaji, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
week after that, I probably get a different personality. We'll do something different. So still I need to work on it. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So feel free to ask me questions. So work on those things. This example are due on Tuesday. You have 4 days to work on this thing, but practice it well. These are very important concepts. If you get it right, it's very easy for you to pick up. It's difficult to understand initially, I know, right? It's like taking the first 2 steps, maybe as you start, it will fall down. So it's very difficult. Once you know how to stand and you can easily walk.
Yes, sir.
So you'll definitely falter. You practice it, then it becomes easier. You have 4 more days.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So any questions, guys?
Sir, about that presentation, sir.
Yeah, I think we lost time, no? We have to do it. What do we do?
Anytime which is convenient to you, sir.
Tuesday, maybe we can do that first. Still, I've not got everyone's presentation, man. And I really don't like it actually. I got only from Sriram and 2 people only I got it. 2, 3 only I got it. So we'll do, if you let everyone give, then we'll do it at one shot.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
I think I still have to get it from Girish, Rakesh, Rajan, everyone. Right? So let everyone give, definitely we'll do it. Right?
Okay, sir.
So we need to finish it. Definitely.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.